Hello everyone and Happy New Year. So Dexter episode 9. This is my review. Okay, so we're into the new year 2022, the first episode of Dexter of 2022. Next week is the last episode. This is episode 9, entitled Family Business. So there's quite a bit to unpack in this. So Merry Christmas too, because that's where this episode is set, Christmas Day, for the majority of it. So last week we left off with Harrison nearly being killed by Kurt, being saved by Dexter, and Dexter opening up about what he does, who he is, how he shares similarities with Harrison in their urges, shall we say. So Dexter continues telling Harrison about what he does, and it's done in a lot of flashback with presumably one of Dexter's earlier kills with a geezer who's a clown who kills children. This is filmed in flashback. They don't make Dexter look any younger, maybe a bit different to his hair, but it doesn't matter because in the context of the story, Dexter's telling the story, and thusly, you can perceive Dexter telling the story as he is looking now, and that's why he looks the way he does older in the flashback stuff, because it does break into him, breaking away from what's happening to the real world, so to speak. Dexter doesn't go all the way through with telling Harrison what he does. He gets stopped by Deb. Deb's there in his ear, essentially, and Dexter stops at the point where he basically makes out that he scared the guy into stopping what he's done. Now, like I said, it's Christmas Day, so you have a scene where Dexter starts giving Harrison some presents. One of the presents being a hunting rifle. This could be a Chekhov's gun kind of situation. If you don't know what Chekhov's gun is, it's a storytelling point that if there is a gun shown in an earlier scene in a film, it's going to come into use later on. So this got me thinking, which I'll come to in a bit. So after this scene where they're sharing presents, they head off over to Angela's place, where Angela has been digging a lot more into the Bay Harbour Butcher. When there, again, they exchange presents, all happy, from Dexter's perspective anyway, not knowing that this is going on. There's a knock at the door, and to Dexter and Harrison's surprise, it's Kurt, and to Kurt's surprise, Dexter and Harrison are there also. Thusly, Kurt leaves, and Dexter makes his excuses and heads off straight away with Harrison, wondering what to do. Now they go and they decide to scour Kurt's land, because obviously, if you remember in the last episode, Kurt had vanished, so there must be somewhere that he's got proof of that he's a killer and all this sort of stuff. And they used the drone that Kurt had bought Harrison previously to scour the land, and they find a little bit out from Kurt's place what looks like a trapdoor with a tube for air and this sort of a thing, and they decide to come back at night time to check it out. All the while this going on, Angela's digging further into Bay Harbour Butcher, listening to the podcast by Mary, who we come to find out has checked out of her hotel, but she's left certain things behind. This comes back into play later on in the episode. Now, as the episode continues, Kurt rolls up at Dexter's place and sprays it with fuel. Now this scene's somewhat silly because Kurt believes that Dexter and Harrison are home. Lights are on, this sort of thing. So quietly, he's driven up with a fueling tanker, small fueling tanker, with a hose, and sprayed the place with fuel. And expecting no one inside to actually hear this, I don't know, and subsequently sets light to it. But obviously Dexter and Harrison are not home, they're over at Kurt's, and they are going down into the trapdoor, and Kurt set up a camera system and a tripwire that will alarm him that someone's entered his place. So Dexter purposely trips the wire, and Kurt gets the video footage, and he sees Harrison going down following Dexter. Now all the while the episode's going on, Deb is in Dexter's ear telling him not to tell Harrison too much, blah blah blah, but Harrison knows that this guy needs to be stopped, especially when they get down into this place, because they find out what he's been doing with these bodies. They're all kind of displayed along this run, along this corridor, in these almost like glass cases from the waist up, and you come to see that Mary, the podcaster, is down there as well. She's been killed. Obviously this death occurred off screen. They obviously get Kurt, they kill Kurt. Harrison's watching all of this, but there's a kind of, although Harrison's interested, and there's a look about him, there's a look that kind of concerns me, and I'll come to that. Now, the episode ends with Dexter finding out his place has been burnt down, and at the persistence of the daughter of Angela, Dexter and Harrison are taken to Angela's place to stay, because they've got nowhere to stay. When they arrive, there's a letter for Angela in her postbox. She opens it up, and it just says, Jim Lindsay killed Matt. Whatever his surname was, it eludes me at the moment. Anyway, and also in there are some of the metal pins that obviously hadn't been burnt, that were in him for medical reasons. And the episode kind of ends up there. Now, very good episode. A lot has gone on in this episode. Great to see the relationship between Harrison and Dexter grow the way it has. And they do play well off of each other. And the stuff with Deb being in Dexter's ear, telling him not to go too far with telling Harrison what he's done and what he is. Brilliant stuff. And, and Angela finding out what she has found out. And she's seen photos with the marks, and she's compared them to the marks from the Bay Harbour butcher killings, to marks on the couple of fellas in the previous episodes from this storyline. So yeah, a whole lot has gone on. Now, like I said about the rifle, I've got this gut feeling that Harrison is gonna take down Dexter. I don't know. Like I said, the Chekhov's gun, that rifle hasn't been given him for no reason whatsoever. I don't know. That's where my mind's going at the moment. I'm probably way off. I'm probably way off. But that's what I'm thinking. So I think that this series is going to end with seeing Dexter caught, die, whatever. It won't be a great ending for him. Yeah, so anyway. So tell me your thoughts on this episode. Tell me your predictions for next week's episode, for how this is going to end. Tell me what your thoughts are, because I'm not very good at predictions, but I love hearing other people's. And yeah, just tell me what you think, because this gets people thinking. This series has people talking. I love it. I love reading everyone's comments and what they think is going to be going on, what they think is going to happen. That's just what I think may occur at the end of this. Now, I was thinking about it. Obviously, the rich fella from before, he sort of vanished early on. That character just sort of totally, completely up, and I don't know if he was just a red herring at the start or what. I think it's a bit too late to see him come back into the fray, because obviously the last episode he's going to deal with Dexter and Angela and the stuff going on there, and the Dexter-Harrison relationship and this sort of a thing. So it will be interesting to see. Could Harrison cover his own tracks by killing Dexter? Could it come to light that Dexter hasn't followed a code and Harrison's got his own code, or his own mixed feelings about what the code is and this sort of a thing, and so he's taken down Dexter as an option? I don't know. Like I said, I'm just throwing ideas out there. Tell me your thoughts on this. Now, obviously, like I said, next week is the last episode, but also tell me down below, would you be interested in me revisiting the original Dexter series? I haven't watched Dexter since it first aired. You know, since each season first aired, I watched them from beginning to end, and I loved them. But it's not something I've found the time to revisit ever. So, you know, I'd be happy to revisit and do a sort of retro review and talk about the series. Is this something that you'd be interested in? Let me know. Also, it's the new year, so why not hit that subscribe button, help me get my numbers up. This is a new channel, it's a young channel. I've only been going 6 months now. I'm at 417 subscribers, I believe, and I'd like to get those numbers up somewhat. So come along, like I said, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment. I do reply to all comments. And yeah, so this is AJ. Thank you for watching, and I really am looking forward to next week's episode and be here around the same sort of time as now to catch my review of that finale. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking with me through the series and catching my reviews, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care all, and goodbye.